Hey, I'm your host, Dr. Desiree. I'm an orthopedic and pelvic floor physical therapist specializing in women's health, aka pelvic floor. I'm a wife, mom of 3, foodie, lover of all things movement and nature, and I'm super passionate about educating, empowering, and supporting other women like you to find and maintain balance throughout all aspects of their lives, without pain, pressure, or peeing their pants. And this is the Balanced Momtality Podcast, where we will talk about all things pelvic floor, your core, and optimizing your pregnancy, birth, and postpartum recovery, providing you with the knowledge and tools so that you can feel like the strong, playful, and happy mom that you and your family deserve. Now let's get you out of those pads and back to loving movement. Fill up your water, pop in those AirPods, roll out your mat, and let's connect. Before we start today's episode, just a quick disclaimer that anything mentioned in this podcast is not meant to treat or diagnose any medical conditions. If you have any questions or concerns about your healthcare needs, please seek the care of your medical provider. This is also a safe space where we will be talking about very sensitive but important topics, such as issues with peeing and pooping, relationships, and even sex. So if you have littles around, probably a good idea to pop those AirPods in. But otherwise, I hope you enjoy today's episode. Hey friend, I'm so glad you're here today. I am just so grateful for all of you that take the time to listen to me once, maybe even twice a week now that we're pumping out 2 episodes a week. And this episode is kind of a casual chat from an overwhelmed, tired mom. And that's because I am human just like you, and I thought that it would be good just to show up here very vulnerable and candid about my struggles with my own health and wellness, and especially mental health. So we're going to just dive into that today, and this is just going to be a little pep talk for both of us because I'm going to be just blatantly honest here. The last week or 2, I have been in a funk and it is just getting to me. It's not normally like this. You know, I'm really someone who is pretty upbeat. I'm optimistic. Even when I'm down and things might not go the way I planned, I'm pretty good about staying in a positive space and trying to see that is a lesson, right? The lesson that we need to learn, or maybe something didn't happen because it's making space for something else to happen. And while I still really believe that, sometimes it feels like it's lying to myself, right? Like things go wrong. I'm like, it's okay. And right now it's just feeling so frustrating. And I have had some time to reflect on things and take some steps to get my own mental health in a more positive state, but I'm still showing up in the middle of it. So with that being said, I don't have it all figured out. I am not a mental health therapist, although I do feel like working with the population I work with, I end up being just as much a mental therapist and friend to vent to as I am a physical therapist, you know, especially working with the body. The body holds trauma. It holds that energy and frustration, and we ignore it. And when we work with our body, it really starts to release that. But sometimes it works the other way as well, where our body is trying to tell us that something isn't right. And maybe mentally we already know that, or maybe we're ignoring and we're just powering through, right? It can go either way. Your mental can cause physical, your physical can cause mental issues, and we need to address both of them, obviously. But this is just to say that I am human. I am here with you, and it can be so easy to get in a funk, right? Like if you ever just wake up and feel off, we've all done it. You can't focus, you're unmotivated, everything feels heavier than usual. And it's normal. This happens even to health professionals like myself that know all the things to do to try and stay on top of everything, right? To moms, high achievers, it happens to the best of us. And we really can't let ourselves stay there. That's the thing I am trying to hold on to, right? Is I'm not going to go down this spiral, because it is a spiral. When we start to doubt ourselves, when we start to feel inadequate, when we hear those fears coming into your head, do I deserve this? Am I even someone who can make these changes happen? Am I someone that can live that life, right? I'm not that person. When we hear these doubts in our brain and we start to believe them, it really changes the energy around us, our aura, that magnetic field of energy we can't see around us starts to dim. And unfortunately, it's the law of attraction. You start to attract the scarcity. You start to attract the negative. You start to attract that downward energy. You'll get pulled down if you are not careful. So this episode is to remind you and remind myself that we can have a funk, we can have a bad day, a bad week, even a bad month, but let's not ruin all of our progress. Let's not let it affect our relationships, not only with the people around us, but with ourselves, because this is the part that I've been having to have a real honest, we'll call it a coming to Jesus moment with myself, right? Of like, why? Just why? Why is this happening to me? And really, for me, it is really thinking about like, why am I in this position where I'm feeling so down? And as someone that isn't a very, easily depressed, I really have only had depression one other time in my life that I can remember, being around COVID. And being isolated from people. That was kind of my turning point. And it sparked a lot of my growth and a lot of my career. And I talked about that actually recently in a podcast episode a few weeks ago. And, who would have thought I'd be in a little funk again here just a week or two later. And life is good, right? Like it's not COVID. I am not dealing with postpartum depression and hormone chaos. But I am in a depressive funk nonetheless. And I don't want to show up for you guys just when I am doing great, because that's not life. And I want to be here to be real and vulnerable with you all and just help us together, right? This is a tribe. I love my tribe. I am here for you. And I hope you'll be there for me too. Life's hard. I'm really trying not to cry on this episode. But we're going to be vulnerable, so there might be some tears today. That's okay. The annoying part, right? We're just going to call it what it is. It's annoying me that I'm in a funk because nothing's really wrong, right? Like, my family is healthy. I have a house over my head. I live in a beautiful place. I have a wonderful job. I love my job. I love the people I work with. I am so grateful that I'm able to be so active in my body and engaged with my family and friends and in my community. And yet still here we are. And that's the annoying part, right? And it is very humbling for me. I'm sure those of you who struggle more with depression and mental health can relate a lot more to this. And you might be like, well, yeah, that's the annoying part of it, Des. It just comes out of nowhere for no reason. I'm not used to this kind of mindset. I'm not used to feeling down. I'm not used to feeling not hopeless, but stuck in a way. I feel kind of stuck right now. And I'm trying to step out of the cycle that my brain is telling me, right? Because it's not the truth, I'm not trying to shame myself because my brain's going to what's wrong with me. I'm trying to fix it, right? Like, what can I do to fix this? Something's wrong. But really what I'm realizing through this transition as I reflect back on last time I felt this way, and having support in my other communities to help remind me of what these moments truly mean, can be so helpful because, I know all the things I need to do, right? And I'm still going to the gym. I'm still working out. I'm still doing all of the things. I'm not just depressed in bed. So I will clarify, right? Like, I'm not in some just like major depressive state where I'm not leaving my house and not doing anything. And I hope that this episode still resonates with those of you that are. And I am so sorry. I feel for you so much. I hope this helps pull you out, maybe gives you a little light, or at least just, some camaraderie that, life is hard. And what this really means, though, if we don't let it pull us down into the spiral, right? Because I don't want to end up stuck in bed in a depressive state. What I really do want is to feel connected in my body and my brain and in alignment again, like I know what I'm doing moving forward. And unfortunately, that's where I feel stuck. I feel like I don't know where to put my energy because I'm feeling kind of burnt out. I think that's what it is. I don't know. There are financial struggles in my household right now. It is very stressful when you're having to decide which bills to pay. And being a doctor, I never thought I would be in that position again. It's really fucking annoying. I hate the state of our country right now. I am just appalled that things like insurance have to be so high that we have to question insurance premium payments or our rent or my daughter's soccer program. Like, that's kind of the reality I'm in right now, unfortunately. And as much as I want to sit on the other side of this microphone and act like I'm, and I am successful, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that I'm failing. I'm not failing, even though that's what it feels like. I know these are signs. My body's trying to tell me, my brain is trying to tell me, I need to slow down. I need to reevaluate. It doesn't mean I'm failing. It doesn't mean I'm even on the wrong track. It just means that right now I need to make space because what is happening right now doesn't feel good. And I need to make space in my mind, in my heart, in my life, in my home, in my job, to allow that next big level of success to come in. And I want you to be there with me along this journey as we up level, because it's coming, babes. This up level is coming. Whether it's an up level in your health and wellness in your body, an up level in your relationships, an up level with your own relationship with yourself, an up level in how you parent your kids, an up level in your income. Let's all pray for that. An up level in your house. Like, whatever it is, that up level is coming. New level, new devil, right? When things start to shift, they start to feel really hard. And that's where I'm at. And I know that this too shall pass. And on the other side, I'm going to be so proud of myself, just like this other bout of depression that I had that really was the ignition for my business, for going out on my own, for betting on myself, for betting on you, and wanting to be a provider and a health coach to help up level other people. It takes a lot of energy. I have that energy. I have that love. I have that compassion. I have that knowledge. And in order to be the best version of me, I have to make sure I am honoring these boundaries. And that is a huge part of getting through this funk. So I want you guys to recognize that this isn't a weakness, right? It is a signal, as we said. And it can stem from so many things, right? Like your nervous system regulation, it gets stuck in this freeze mode when we're in this funk. And that's why I feel stuck, that frozen state. It's like, wait, we feel unsafe here. So we're just going to freeze. And that is stressful in itself, right? But especially if it's cascading on top of all these other things, right? Like maybe there's hormone fluctuations. I will admit, guys, I'm a teary mess this week. And it is my luteal phase. I'm about to start my menstrual cycle in the next 5 days. So hello, luteal. Thank you for this. So hormones are real, right? We've got to take that into account. However, right, I've had luteal phases every other month this year and not felt like I feel this month. So it is a little different, right? It's that stack, that perfect storm. We're just going to throw all these other crappy things right during this luteal phase and right when she's pushing all these other up levels and all these programs and let's just make it feel real hard, right? That's what it feels like. It feels like everything's trying to just make it feel so much harder. And I know that that's not the case, but our hormones can really get the best of us. So I'm trying to not make any major decisions right now. That's for sure. And who knows, maybe I'll regret being so vulnerable and crying and posting this for the whole world to hear. But right now, I just want to be honest with you guys. I want to be very candid and real with you because that's what I expect from you and my patients and my clients. And yeah, burnout and overgiving and unmet needs, a lack of boundaries, all of these things can really cause us to be in a funk. That emotional load, especially if you have that lack of rest and recovery and downtime and joy built into your day, which I do for the most part. I really do. I try to make it to the gym. I get outside. I listen to music. I try and make the small mundane moments fun. This week, especially in the car, I'm jamming the new Taylor Swift album on repeat. I don't even care if there's haters out there. I have been a Swiftie since she came out. And I will say I really kind of pulled away from her music when it became very mainstream and poppy. But after going to the Eras tour with my sisters a couple years ago, I just fell back in love with her and her artistry and her talent. She's just amazing. And this new album is so fun. It really came at the right time. I needed it. I needed the lightness of it, the funness of it, the happiness of it. It's such a happy album. If you are bummed, go put it on. Opalite is one of my favorite songs right now. I'm dancing through the lightning storm as we speak. And it's going to be okay. It is something that we need to find those little moments of joy, and we need to also start to understand what put us here without really, getting too in the nitty gritty, right? We don't need to know the exact moment or all of the things, but we can start to recognize the signs, right? Because your body is probably giving you some signs. The body slows us down because it's asking for that rest and recovery, that space for healing to process even. So if your brain is feeling overwhelmed and done and it needs to process and you're just not allowing that, right? You're just go, 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 which I have. I've been pretty go, go, go. I will say probably, my rest and recovery has looked a lot more like foam rolling in the living room and the chaos in the evening, and not so much like the body work that was quiet in solitude in the morning by myself. And that's probably a big part of it. But if your body could talk, it might be saying, I need space, I need stillness, I need something to change. But we're not going to blame ourselves. Nothing is wrong with us. We have not lost progress either. We are just in a funk, and funks are part of growth. They are not a setback. And that is the thing we need to keep in our mind, right? It is that space that we need to create clarity and structure and stability for that new level. So how do we get out of our fucking funks, guys? How do we do it? Well, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I encourage you to try. This is what helped me back 7 years ago, when I was really struggling around COVID, because it was a similar feeling of, why am I feeling so easy to snap, so easy to cry, so tapped out, right? I'm just tapped out. And some of it is lack of boundaries, but not really, because a lot of it is the same thing that I've been doing for months and years that has felt good to me until now. So something is going to shift. I'm still working out what that looks like. But the first step is to get back into your body, right? Movement. Movement is an energy shift, whether it's a walk, a stretch, breath work. And here I do want to highlight that as opposed to like strength training and intensity, because I am still lifting. It feels so good in my body. It helps me get my frustration out. But to my muscles, it still feels like stress. And so I know that can't be the only body work I'm doing right now. I do get the endorphins after, and I feel so much better when I leave that gym. It is a huge mental relief for me, but I know that I need to bring in those lower energy, lower intensity movements to really be aware and in tune. Where am I holding tension? Where are these emotions being stored? Where are they coming up from in my body? How can I release that, right? Breathe into it. If it's in your hips, dance it out, shake it out. If it's in your back, do some gentle stretching and deep breathing, right? Your nervous system regulates through sensation. So even a heavy-weighted blanket, stroking your muscles, give yourself a hug, right? Get a hug. Just get into your body. Grounding practices. Put your feet on the earth, your hand on your heart. Deep, deep breaths. We are trying to get a longer exhale than we are an inhale, especially for the nervous system that we are living in right now. But also change up your environment, because if you're not feeling good where you're at, switch it up. Go outside. Maybe you need to declutter. That's something that has just naturally started to happen in my energy right now, right? Because I'm feeling that sense of I'm just irritated every time I go in my house and I look around and I see a pile of laundry everywhere and the clothes strung out all over the floor because the kids have been looking through that pile. And then I look at the table that has all these papers from their school folders, and I see the cupboards open with the dishes falling out because they were getting a cup, right? It's just chaos everywhere. So how do we expect ourselves to calm our mind and body when there is clutter and shit and chaos everywhere? So if you can't declutter your home, get outside and just escape it for a little bit. But I also encourage you to get rid of some shit. And that's what it's really sparked in me. We've gotten rid of a lot of bags of giveaway the last couple weeks because I am in declutter mode. I want to feel like my house is a sanctuary of peace, and it has gotten to the point of chaos again. God, decluttering is just its own constant battle. It's freaking all the time. But we want to open the windows, get some fresh air. Maybe you put on a aromatherapy or light a candle and just bask in a peaceful environment, right? Get outside, change the music, switch it up, because what we've been doing hasn't been working. So we need to switch it up. We are here to shift. We are going to shift and move through this funk and view it as what it is. It's a reset. It's a time to evaluate. So we're going to make those shifts, and we're going to start with some body work. We're going to then get into some small sensory shifts because it instantly disrupts your pattern, even if it's putting music on in the morning when you didn't, or lighting that candle, or eating your breakfast outside in the sunshine when you used to eat it in the dark, right? Let's switch it up. And then let's do one tiny productive thing, because I know, like I am in now, when we're in a funk, it feels so hard to want to do anything extra because everything else already feels like it's so much. And we can start to get in that spiral of really feeling like a failure, and we're not. So we need to just pick one tiny productive thing, because that does start to build that trust again in yourself, that momentum, and it builds with micro action. So if you are overwhelmed in your house and you're like, ugh, I don't even want to start, it's too daunting, just pick one thing, maybe one tiny countertop space to clean off. Maybe it's even just taking the dishes out of the dishwasher. Maybe it's taking one dish out of the dishwasher and putting it away, picking up one piece of trash and throwing it away. It could be anything. Maybe it is getting up and getting outside to just sit in the sunshine. Maybe you don't take the walk because you don't have the energy, but you just sit in the sunshine, right? One tiny productive thing. Make your bed. Send one email. What are those things that are building up that you're ignoring? Just pick one and make it small so that it's doable. And then, even though it feels silly, celebrate it. We need to celebrate these small wins because they do rebuild that trust within yourself, and it starts to remind your brain, hey, that's who we are. We don't need to trust that little piece of crap that keeps talking crap about us, right? And we could say talk crap behind our backs, but we all know it's talking crap inside our heads. So yeah, we don't want to hear it. And I am not going to listen to that anymore. We need to recognize when that negative talk in our head is not us. It's not us, right? It is the background noise. It's the fear. It's the patterns of our culture. It is the comparison. It is the toxic energy that we need to disconnect from and catch. And this is the hardest part, but this is the thing you need to pay attention to. And so really celebrate, and even if it feels like you're faking it, right? Like, dang, I feel like crap today, but look at me go. I actually made my bed and now it looks so nice and inviting, right? And it's so encouraging to continue that motivation to just keep showing up for yourself. Those tiny, tiny things can make a big difference. But reconnect to joy, guys. Like, refill your cup. Movement is a huge one for me. But again, like dancing, singing, laughing, go outside. Dopamine is medicine. And no, dopamine hits from scrolling your phone is not medicine. That is the toxic energy that is building and contributing to those negative thoughts in your head. So guess what I've been doing a lot of these last couple weeks? Scrolling on my phone. Yep, I have a lot more than I normally do. It's my way that my brain is subconsciously trying to quote unquote escape and numb out. And I've had to catch it because this is part of my spiral. I start to really lose myself in my screens, becoming less present. And then it just adds to the irritation and that negativity and those stupid patterns in your brain. So I already told myself yesterday, because I kept picking up my phone and I didn't even, I was hovering over the Facebook and Instagram app like, why am I even clicking this again? Why? I just opened it like 5 minutes ago. What the fuck? Why am I opening this damn app again? I don't need it. But yet that is the addiction we are in. That is the dopamine hit that our brain is starting to get accustomed to. We need to detox from that kind of dopamine and refill with the true nature. Life is full of joy. Laugh with friends. Dance. Be silly. Be goofy. Go outside and just see the beautiful nature that's all around us. And yes, I am deleting my apps. So if I am not as present on social media, guys, just know it is for my own health and I will be back. I'm still going to try and be on there for my business purposes, but I'm going to really try hard to draw a boundary. And yes, I'm saying this on my podcast to help hold myself accountable, that I'm not going to get on there and scroll. I am only going to get on there to post my business stuff and get off. And to do that, I'm deleting it off of my phone because that's a barrier, right? I'm going to have to re-download it or get access on my desktop to upload things. So it makes it a lot harder for me to just open it up and scroll. But just keep that in mind. How much are you scrolling? And is that taking away from all the other joy that's all around you? But it can be very helpful to ask yourself, what would feel light or fun for just 5 minutes and just go do it. I don't even care. Who cares? Just go do it. Even if you're in the middle of something, even if you have dishes to do, even if, just do it. Drop what you're doing. Go do something fun for 5 minutes. And then we can reflect and actually recalibrate ourselves, right? Like this is what I'm trying to do, is really get in my thoughts and not just push through it, because otherwise it's going to show back up, right? If I just push, right? And that can look on the outside like I quote unquote got through my funk, right? I'm still doing all the things. She got through it. Look at her. No, because then all of that is still going to be stored in my body. All of those yucky feelings are still going to be there, and I just suppressed them. So instead, we have to actually get in our mind and our body and be vulnerable and honest with ourselves, right? Like, what hasn't been feeling good lately? Stop doing it. Look at a different way to do it. And also asking, what does my mind and body need? What are they asking for right now? What am I feeling pulled to that I keep ignoring and avoiding? Or maybe what has been the barrier that maybe I also know but have been avoiding, right? Like maybe we know that we have been overeating sweets and we know that we don't want to, but we keep doing it. Like what are the things, right? Like what are those things that we are just doing anyway? And maybe just asking yourself that honest question, and it'll bring it up in your forefront of your mind. Like, okay, yes, I know this is something I need to stop doing. So let's just stop it already, because it's just making me feel like shit, right? For me, what do I need right now? I need more nature. So much nature. And I feel this in my bones. I really felt this negative shift on Sunday this week. And, we have been dealing with rain. And so this does kind of get me worried for the winter blues. I'm not going to lie. And I'm going to be doing my damnedest to try and prep for this so that I don't feel this way through the winter. Because, I wanted to get out so much more over fall break and go look at the leaves and do all this fun playtime outside. And we had so much rain. I still did get a good walk in with my mom and saw some pretty leaves and stuff. But I was starting to just get resentful. Like also my little guy broke his toe, so we couldn't really go on a hike. So Sunday comes and it's not raining. It's sunny. All I wanted to do was get into the mountains. All I wanted to do was go on a hike and just escape into nature. Every piece of me wanted that, but none of my kids wanted to. My husband didn't want to. He was very happy watching Sunday football, which is totally fine. And I didn't go. And it was the downhill since then. I took the walk with my mom and it was great, but it just wasn't enough. Like I need to get out. I'm going to go take a walk this weekend by myself or with a friend or my mom or my husband, but I am taking a walk. I am going to go on a hike and I'm just going to go find a spot and just sit and lay in nature and just like recalibrate with the earth for a little bit. So that's what I know I need. And just that's where I trust it's all going to come together, right? Because I just keep getting this pull. I need to get out. I need to get out. I need to go find a spot. I need to just like go escape and reset. And I trust that the universe is going to give me the answers when my mind is calm and ready, but my mind doesn't feel calm right now. It feels scattered and pissed off. So I need to get it in a calmer space and allow that trust and that calmness to seep back in. And I know getting into nature is what's going to do that for me. And then you can even journal, like what's been draining me, what's been missing, what does feel easy right now, like what's working and what's not working. It can be as simple as that, but sometimes we don't even ask ourselves. We just keep pushing through and wonder why it's so hard. Instead, we can actually reevaluate and try and shift those things and take away the things that are draining, or maybe small tweaks can make it feel not so draining anymore. And then the last thing we really want to do is nourish and rest, right? Eat healthy foods. Yes, you can have those yummy comfort foods as well, but don't get too caught up because trust me, this week I have been like
fuck it, eat it. And I've had to catch myself and be like, okay, yeah, sure. But also, your body's going to feel like shit. Your mental state's going to feel a lot more shitty. This is not going to help you. So I've also been trying to shovel in fruits and vegetables and protein as well. But I have been eating a lot more sweets and comfort food this week. Hydration and sleep are obviously the basics. Like, we need good, healthy nutrition, hydration, and sleep. These are the basics that always matter more than anything else, because if you're not sleeping well, if you're eating shit, or you're not drinking water, you aren't going to feel good, and you're not going to have the energy to do the things. Like, it's just not going to feel good. So make sure you're starting with those basics. And then also know that sometimes the funk isn't emotional, it is physical depletion. Like, maybe you've just been pushing your body so much. You're go, go, go. And maybe it's not even just exercise. You're just, you're doing carpool and work and exercise and taking the kid here and taking the dog on a walk and standing and doing dishes. And you never get time in your body to just rest and stretch and breathe and work out that tight tension in the muscles that you haven't even touched because you've been so busy, right? So just try a little bit of those things, and also know that it's so important to reach out for help and support. And even if that's just, hey friend, you want to go for a walk, or hey friend, you want to chat for a little bit, but also getting more support from a therapist or a physician or a coach are so crucial if things are getting too dark for you. So if your funk lasts longer than 2 to 3 weeks, or it's just feeling heavier than normal, or you're losing motivation for joy and that time to connect, right? Then it is time to seek that higher level of support from someone like a mental therapist, so that you can get more guidance. I'm hoping this little funk of mine only lasts this week. It's been about a week now, and I'm determined to get out of it. So I hope that this is helping you just realize that funks are feedback. They are not failure. And when you stop fighting your funk, you can create space for your flow to return, and that space and capacity for your new, beautiful level. And I am going to come out on that up level with you. I want you there with me. So I just want to thank you guys again so much for listening to me vent and cry on this episode. I don't know if it helped you at all, but if it did, I'm always getting your notifications over on Facebook and Instagram. So I will check your messages if you do want to send me a DM or even just tag me in your stories. It really helps the show get spread, and just it helps me know that I am not alone in this journey, and know that you are not alone either, friend. I am here for you, in your corner always, and thanks for being in mine.
Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day. I know you've got so many other important things going on, but I hope it was helpful and you leave here with some tools to help you in your healing journey. And I just want to ask you, if you have found this helpful, to please leave a review on iTunes. Scroll down to the bottom of my podcast page and leave that 5-star review so it can help other women see this information. And also, if you want to be a part of my community of amazing women trying to balance all the things, great tips and insight, and sharing stories and just motivating each other along the way, feel free to join my Facebook group, The Balanced Mentality, Wellness and Support. I hope to see you here next time on the Balanced Mentality Podcast.